talking around this.
Don't be nice to do.
Don't be nervous, Dean.
This camera shot, huh?
Anybody gonna congratulate Uncle Joe or what?
Congratulations, Coach.
Everybody else?
Hello, Joe Boo.
Hey, Joe.
Congratulations, dude.
Hey, Joe. Go break some.
We gotta say to Uncle Joe.
Congratulations, Joe.
Congratulations, Joe. Coach, you better pass us this year. That's important, man.
Pat?
Go break some. Yeah, show him that soon.
Let's get this thing going.
Nothing?
How you doing? Coach Gatto, congratulations on a great season, but you owe it all to this man right here, Joseph Fabricator. Without him, this team would be nothing.
Can we toast the Walters? Yeah. Who's going to make it? Yeah, this. All right. This is a tribute to the heart and soul of our track team, the Walters.
Men with longer poles.
The men with the biggest pole. The Walters.
Walters we have our shirts on, no sunglasses, and without a dip, we still tribute.
They have longer poles. Walters do it better. We like the Walters. And they pull out.
Here, you just turn it up.
Wing cam.
Coach, congratulations on the season. I'm sorry I got hurt on you. The guys came through. You're a great guy.
What about the job?
Oh, the job in the summer, that was terrific. I mean, that helped me out a lot. A little extra spending money here and there. Even though at times you were a pain, but I put up with it. But other than that, it was great. Thanks.
Everybody else?
No comment.
You gotta say something, John. I like your head. Yeah, it's on.
Coach, our vacation this year was quite an experience, and next year I'm sure we're going to have a lot more fun down there because we're going to bring a whole crew down. Great year. Thanks a lot. Hey, Uncle Joel, congratulations. Cheers.
Billy?
Pour you a drink here.
Wait.
I'd like to make a toast. Hey, Chris. Make a toast to one of the biggest coaches, one of the coolest coaches, and one of the hardest hitting, and one of the hardest hitting coaches in the league.
Here's to you, Uncle Joe.
My ribs will never be the same, but we have a lot of good memories. Cheers. Cheers.
Joe, what can I say? You're the best coach of all. Good luck.
Mr. Kelly?
Joseph, you know I'm in love with you. You did a lot for me, and you're going to probably do more for me.
I got a lunch.
Who's the coach?
What do you say, Chick? From Mr. Gatto.
Congratulations, Mr. Gatto. Lots of luck at next season.
Parents, coaches, teammates, friends, and guests. I'd like to welcome you to this banquet honoring the 1991 Dunmore High School, Lackawanna County, District 2 Boys, AA Track Champions, and the District 2 Champions. All right, calm down. Let's try it.
Be stylish.
Parents, coaches, teammates, friends, and guests. I'd like to welcome you to this banquet honoring the Dunmore High School 1991 Lackawanna County and District 2 Boys AA Track Champions. First of all, I'd like to thank our coaches, Coach Gatto and Coach Murphy, and a special thanks to Sandy for their dedication and support. Thanks, Sandy. They were always there to help and guide us, and kept their sense of humor when we needed a lift. I'd like to congratulate every member of the track team for an outstanding season. You're welcome. This was a team effort. Without the cooperation and dedication of each and every one of you, we could have never achieved the success we deserve. We worked hard and gave 110% to reach our goal, champions. I'd also like to thank our parents. Without their love and support, none of us could have gone the distance. We achieved the Lackawanna County District 2 Boys AA Championships because of the dedication of everyone in this room tonight. I'd like to thank all of you. Now, I would like to introduce the Toastmaster for tonight's event. He was a 3-year member of the track team, a 1989 graduate, and a standout in the 880 and 2-mile relay. Ladies and gentlemen and team members, a gift to you, Sean Houlihan.
Thanks, Jamie. I don't know, on my way here tonight, I was up in Moscow, and I knew I was in a hurry, so I was coming home. On my way down the highway, I hit a pig. So I knew I was in a hurry, so I just left it there on the road. So when I got home, I'm going up my steps to my house, and the constable's there. And he asked me if my name was Sean Houlihan, and I said, yes, why? And he said, you hit a pig up in Moscow. You owe me $100.
Well, how'd the constable know?
The pig squealed. Members of the head table, parents, and champions. It is an honor and privilege to be invited back to Dunmore High School, my alma mater, and to serve as your Toastmaster for this evening's festivities. This evening we are here to honor you as champions of the Lackawanna League AA Division and District 2 PIAA champion. Although I am not a member of this particular championship team, I feel very much a part of this championship. See, we didn't beat Lakeland, you did. We didn't win a district title, you did. And we worked as hard as you did in preparing for our season, but we came up empty. And because of what you accomplished, you make us all feel like champions. This evening's first speaker is a man we all have great respect for. He will be speaking on behalf of our principal, Mr. Charles Mecca. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. William Hopkins.
Thank you, Sean. I never thought Sean studied as hard as he studied in the last 10 minutes of his life. We had him here in school a couple of years, and I used to tell him that he'd have to lift weights or carry books. He didn't lift weights while he was here in school. He didn't carry books. So now he's working out at the field house every day. Went out there the other day, and he was over there lifting weights, eating Garvey. Thanks, Sean. Members of the head table, parents, and grandparents. I have to get that in because I've got a guy in the back. If I don't recognize the grandparents, we'll be in trouble, he said. So to the grandparents as well, and to the athletes here and all their friends, welcome. On behalf of the administration, I welcome you all here and say it's nice to see everyone and a great deal of enthusiasm over here. Special thanks tonight is to Coach Gatto and Coach Murphy. If you're wondering about whether or not the season was really long, I know parents, when it starts early on, you say, boy, I can't wait till it's over. But when you look at Coach Murphy, you know how long the season was. He started at 235, he's down to 195. I don't know if it was from worrying, but there are a few good things about that. And now, Kurt, he has a couple extra shirts, and he said they're your size. So Murphy, did a good job tonight. I think you'll be able to fill the bill. So a couple of shirts before you go away, Kurt. Murph has them. There are some people here tonight. Joe Gatto was saying, how about this person, that person? I said, Joe, You don't know how long I've been around in track. I go back to Jake McAndrew. And don't everybody over here smart, because I remember some guys over here trying to get over the high jump bar, some guys trying to get out of the blocks, just like their sons were doing this year. One thing about track, and you're going to learn to appreciate, is that you put a lot of hard work into it. And it's the kind of sport that really builds a little bit of character, because I always say it's the no alibi sport, okay? You get down to the blocks, and you look down that line, and there's 5 other guys there. They're all breathing as heavy as you are, and they've all worked hard, and you've worked hard. And you know there's only one thing between you and that line, and that's, have I worked harder than those 5 guys here? Because I don't think there's anything like track to be able to go down there, watch people get down the blocks and run 100 meters. A few years ago at Kingston, I watched the Ismail brothers. I watched the people from Lakeland coming down there, Joby, Fawcett. It's exciting. I don't think there's another sport that gives that intensity as track does. And you people who are participating, whether it's in the field or the running events or the jumping events, you know there's a certain adrenaline comes along in every one of those events. This year when I watched the people at the Jordan relays, I didn't think Jimmy Prigioni would make it to the end. We're a couple of guys short, or I think they might have been celebrating the Jordan relays here tonight because we were that close. And if a couple of guys didn't go dancing, we might have had it. But, you know, there are 2 things, you know. There has to be dances, and there has to be some relaxation. The only thing we did have this year was a lot of small injuries. An awful lot of guys telling the coach, you know, I think my heel is, I think I got a blister. And I began to wonder why we were getting all these little injuries. And, you know, if you were in the field house, then you know why. Because Sandy was there, and these guys were getting lonesome. They were running in for a little care, you know. Enormous number of injuries. But she did a great job, and we hope that Sprint will be back with us next year. Before the evening started, I got a letter from the coaches at Lakeland High School, and they sent me down a lotto card for Joe Gatto, and they asked him to please fill it out and hope he will win. So then he'll retire and they'll have a chance to repeat again. They've been looking to come back for 2 years now. If you watch Coach Gatto at the end of the finish line at a couple of these races, when he beat Lakeland, he was jumping higher than the people over in the high jump, Pat McGuire and them. He almost tackled Billy Dolphin at the finish line. He was getting quite excited. But that's what track is all about. And that's why you're here tonight being honored. And I would be remiss if I didn't say that Mr. Prigioni was working in the background there to get this thing off the ground. It was funny today to go into the business office and watch Mr. Mecca in there and all the little elves. Joe Vernetti and his brother, Mike Ginnivola, Joe Gatto, working like little elves. They're getting this program together. They did a lot of planning, a lot of work at the last minute. Tonight we're going to be presenting plaques. They come as a token for you to remember. They're a gift of the Board of Education, and of course it's one of the ways in which we acknowledge the great season you had. The District 2 Championship, all right, was the culmination of a great season. Undefeated track season, AA champions, something to be proud of. And I know that the administration, the faculty, the rest of the student body, very happy with what you accomplished tonight. Remember what you started off in track. The seniors are gone. They gave you the inspiration to the underclassmen. We've got a great group coming up. Freshmen, the 8th graders, they're all looking forward to coming in, and you guys got to show the way, and we hope you will. Thank you.
On this evening's program, Mr. Paul Kelly is listed for remarks. But I would be remiss at this time if we did not offer a special thanks to Mr. Paul Kelly and Mr. William Mecca for their efforts as serving as co-chairman for tonight's dinner. Please join with me in offering special thanks to Mr. Mecca and Mr. Kelly. Now Mr. Kelly will offer his remarks.
Great grandparents. Grandparents, parents, team, my classmates, everybody up here at this table. The other day I was upstairs on hall duty, and down the hall came Dean Dodge, Scott Myers, and they pushed this piece of paper at me. And they said, do you have to make a speech at the banquet, or what are you going to do? I said, yeah. Dean said, why don't you read this? Because if you don't, I'll drive by you with my car and splash you. You like to do that, Dean? So, here it is. It's a poem. And it's very apropos. It's titled, The Man from Nathan Hill. He came into our schoolhouse in the fall of '69, bringing with him many qualities like rare vintage wine, a biology book in one hand, a shot put in the other, a javelin between his teeth, and a heart like a mother. He used to be a blue devil, but old Forge is out of luck because he lives in Dunmore and is now a Dunmore buck. He cares for everyone he meets and doesn't have a foe. To all of us that know him, that's the way of Joe. His energies are boundless. He can hurdle any task. And if you need a favor, all you have to do is ask. He's a teacher, he's a coach, he's a tutor, he's a man, ticket seller, painter, weightlifter, and Crimson Tide's biggest fan. Now when 92 rolls around, they'll do it again, because the Trackers have a coach, a builder of men. Determination is Gatto's fortitude, the way and the will. We're fortunate to have him, that man from Nathan Hill.
Our next speaker is a person who needs no introduction. He's a person who can be found in the weight room of the field house regularly. He's a person who is always willing to assist whenever one is in need. He's a person who can encourage you and get you psyched up for a track meet. He is known for his X-rated track highlight video. Man we all love and respect. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Jim Murphy.
I'm not going to start off like I usually do, guys. I'd like to thank Mr. Pergioni and Mr. Kelly and Mr. Mecca for getting this thing together. I'd like to recognize the people at the head table, parents, and of course the athletes. I've been here, believe it or not, for 6 years coaching. I came here in 1986 after graduating in 1979. Yeah, I'm 30 years old, believe it or not. But the one thing that's kept most of the people that do come around here is the family tradition that Dunmore High School brings to everybody. The town always gets behind their sporting events, their kids. They like to see their kids, and it's a small knit community that everyone seems to gather around. There's a lot of pride in this school, and it's shown every day. You can walk into any classroom, walk out on any field, and you'll see the pride that these students and athletes take in their school. I get very inspired by these guys. I try to inspire them, but actually they inspire me. By the feats that they perform, they amaze me, they help me, and they've been, over this last 6 years, I've been able to get to where I'm at because of them. So I have to thank them for everything that I've accomplished, because I've learned from them, they've learned from me, and it's a two-way street here at Dunmore, and that's how it's always been. I know these guys like my pep talks before meets. And some of the parents I've heard have seen them and watched them and listened to them. I thought Iggy would try and edit a little better, but those things happen. But that's just how I am. When I get going, the words start flowing. I don't think about what I'm saying. I'm just trying to get these guys pumped up so they can do the best that they possibly could. Seems to have worked the last couple of years, and I'm happy about it. Since I've been here also, I'd like to say that we've had at least one person go to Shippensburg every single year that we've been here. That's from '86, we had Jeff Viola in the hurdles. Then in 1987, Jim MURPH, third place discus. Rich Boese and Kathy McGuire in 1988. Rich Boese got third in javelin. 1989, Tim Ruddy for the shot put, which he got second. Carrie Bowen and Holly Bamford were also there for field events, of course. In 1990, we had state champ Tim Ruddy in the shot put, came in third in the discus. And of course, 1991 brought us John Core and Dave Silvestrini in the hurdles and the shot put, respectively. In 1992, we're expecting a lot more. We want to go to the lighthouse and really light it up this year. Maybe I'll even, give them a break and start eating again. I don't know. I've lost 52 pounds since February, and I don't know how I did it, but it just went off real quick, and I was sort of happy about that. Since I don't play football anymore, I figured I don't need it. Keep it off for a while. But I'm very happy to be a part of Dunmore High School and the family. I love coaching. I love the kids. And I know most of the parents, and it's really important to me to make sure that these guys do their best. And I know Coach Gatto feels the same way. And I'd just like to thank all of you parents for giving us such wonderful kids to work with. Thank you very much.
Next, we will hear from our second half of our dynamic duo, co-chairman, Mr. William Mecca.
When Mr. Kelly and I decided Mr. Vigione asked if we help along with his dinner, I'm not much for speeches, so Mr. Kelly and I decided we'd have some poems. So I have this one. This is for the team. All right, team? We're going to cut it. It's titled, The Nifties of 91. Are you ready? Our boys toiled all through the spring, knowing the trophy was in the wing. Bauman with his discus, Marquez with his spear, knew that we could win it this year. Pasco, Fab, and Gatto were steady. Tomasetti and Vernetti were always ready. Genovola and McGuire were both live wires, as was Sandone, who never tires. That should give me a set of radios. Mason Lavelle came to cast their spell. Gallagher was wounded, but gave many a yell. The meets were won from the shot of the gun. The team had its fun in the year of 91. Next year, these seniors won't be on the track, but our underclassmen will all be back. And at that time, there'll be no lack with Ross, Smith, Dolphin, and Marichak. When they go out to meet the foe, Silvestrini, Sutil, and Fangio, Longo, Heinen, Higgins, and Davianisco will send them all home feeling very low. Quigley, Core, Ballant, and Forgione too know exactly what they have to do. They won't let off steam. They'll always be true and win it again in 92. Congratulations, guys.
It's hard to believe that 5 short years ago, This evening's principal speaker was a member of Mr. Gatto's track squad. But since that time, Jeff Viola has attended and graduated from the University of Scranton. I know I'm going to get this word wrong, so... Magna cum laude, and earned a Bachelor of Science degree in Political Science, and now currently attends Widener University School of Law. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jeff Viola.
Thanks, Sean. Members of the head table, family, friends, and champions. Let me begin by saying that I'm very honored to be here tonight. To once again be a part of the Dunmore High School family, and to be a part of the Dunmore track program for one more time. I have to admit I was very surprised when Coach Gatto asked me to be a part of this tonight. I only graduated 5 years ago, and at age 22 I still feel like a high school student at times. But I did jump at the chance to be here tonight because I had a lot of great experiences here at Dunmore High, and on the track team especially. And I know that that was due in large part to Coach Gatto and his assistant coaches like Coach Murphy, and the time and effort that they put into this program. Their devotion is unbounded. And so when Coach Gatto asked me to speak here tonight, I was only too happy to finally get the opportunity to give something back to Dunmore High and to Coach Gatto. So I just want to thank Coach Gatto for all he's done for me, and tell him that I'm finally glad I could do something for him. I haven't prepared any long speech, well, kind of. And so, I'm sure you'll be glad to hear. This is really the first time I've ever spoken at a banquet or any occasion such as this, so I really didn't know what to say. I didn't know what I'm still a student, what I was qualified to tell you people. At the last minute I did decide it might be best though to maybe just tell about some of my high school experiences back in '86 and some of the things I've done since high school, and to compare them to the great success that your teams and the teams of the last 5 seasons have accomplished here in the Dunmore men's track program, and try to describe to you how we all share some of the same things in common, your teammates and my teammates from 1986. First of all, we all had the chance to be a part of the winning tradition here at Dunmore, and that's something that shouldn't be understated. Dunmore has always had a fierce crowds, fiercely loyal following, and we've always been competitive in just about every sport that we've competed in. In 1985, I was a member of the Eastern Conference Football Championship team, and it was quite a thrill, not just for myself and my teammates, but for the school and the community as a whole. And you fellas have proudly carried that tradition on with the stunning record that you guys have posted over the past 5 seasons. Now, my senior track year in 1986, we really kind of saw our ups and downs. We suffered some key injuries and had our share of bad luck, not to make up excuses, but we posted a 5-5 record. It seemed as if every meet came down to the last event. I know you guys know how that feels sometimes. I remember we lost to Scranton Prep out back here, 76-74 was the score, and it came down to the triple jump, last event of the meet. It was that kind of a year. In 1986, I was lucky enough to qualify for the state competition in Shippensburg and the high hurdles, as has been mentioned very well. It's an experience that I'll always remember, and it was an honor to represent the school, the team, the community of Dunmore as a whole, and my family down in Shippensburg against some of the best athletes in the state. I feel honored. Some of the company that was mentioned tonight, the Ishmael brothers, Joby Fawcett, I have something in common with those guys. They all beat me horribly in every My only wish was that the rest of the team could have been in Shippensburg with me, because I really felt it was a team effort. And my small success was only a small part of the overall success that we shared together, my teammates in 1986. Now, I'm not sure what effect the seniors on my team had on the teams that have competed over the last 5 years, but obviously you guys didn't repeat the same mistakes that we made. Since that year, the Dunmore High School men's varsity track and field team has posted, I'm not sure everybody knows, they've been 45-3 over the past 5 years. That's 3 consecutive 9-1 seasons and 2 consecutive undefeated seasons. And to me, that's nothing short of amazing in light of the high level of competition in the Lackawanna League. I really want to tell you that's a great effort. Your team and the teams of the past 4 years succeeded because of dedication and hard work. That's the only way to do it in this league. There's no shortcuts, especially in light of the endurance and strength of mind and body that's required at track. I know you guys will remember those, years from now you'll remember those grinders the first week of March to the cemetery in the snow and rain. So you'll remember what I'm talking about in a couple of years. I also know how difficult it is to go undefeated in a season, which the football team that I played for in 1985 did that, but we were never on a track team that went undefeated. I remember how difficult it was to get up for each game, week after week, and to stay at the cutting edge of your game, and yet to stay healthy and to stay on top of your schoolwork too. So you guys your hands should be shaking all of you for that as well. It's something you should be especially proud of, not just being champions, but being undefeated champions. By the way, let me pause right here to just tell you guys how happy I, as a graduate, am that you guys finally got rid of the Lakeland Chinks. In 4 years on the track program here, I don't think we came close to beating Lakeland, so it's pretty good to see that the Bucks are beating on the Chiefs regularly now. So. Anyway, I think the most important thing about your accomplishments, and it's another aspect that your team and some of my teammates share, is the fact that you guys accomplished what you did as a team. Even though track is often a very singular competition, it's the sprinter against the clock, or it's the guy that's throwing the shot put or the javelin against the guy with the tape measure. That's true most of the time, but without each other, no one could truly be a champion. It was truly a team effort. Okay, it seems to me that team honors far outweigh individual honors because you can share them with your teammates, with your friends, with your family. It's been my experience in the few years since I graduated that my high school friends and teammates are still some of the closest and most trusted friends that I have in the world, and I hope to God it remains that way in the future. In college and in law school, and in some of the positions that I've held since I graduated from Dunmore, I've also made some very close friends, and these new acquaintances aren't any less my friends just because I've made them lately in life. But the fact remains that my high school buddies and my teammates from high school will always be closest to my heart because they shared so much of the high and low points in my youth. And I'm sure many of you will come to feel the same way in the future. At Dunmore, I was lucky enough to be a part of a number of events that I still remember fondly. The Eastern Conference Championship in '85, the success the basketball teams had all of the years that I was here at Dunmore. The fun we had being boosters from the bleachers. I know a lot of you guys know what that's about. And just the everyday memories, just in class, in the hall, in the senior lounge, wherever. And also finally graduating from such a great school as Dunmore. My classmates and I also shared some tragedies, like when our close friend Billy Ruddy was taken from us and when we lost our principal, Mr. McDonald. The point is that we went through it all together, and we were lucky enough to have each other to celebrate with or to lean on when we needed it. I think that the best and most important aspect of being a part of any team, especially when it's in high school and when you're with your peers and your best friends, it's not the championships or all the victories, though doing your best is important, but it's the strong friendship and camaraderie that's created when you practice and compete in such close quarters with one another. Long after the championship jackets that you guys are going to get don't fit anymore, and long after the trophies that you get, the plaques, that they're stuffed in the basement or up in the attic somewhere, they're at doorstop, you'll still have some of the friends that you have with each other in this room. You'll still have some great stories to tell to each other and to retell over again. This meet, that meet, this event, what happened that day in school, how many times you were late for practice because of detention. Things like that you'll get to share. And in the end, that's the best thing you get out of being a member of any team, especially the Dunmore track team here. Whether you were 5-5 or 8-0, you can be proud because you worked hard, and you can be content in the memories that you take with you. In conclusion, let me just say, again, congratulations to you guys. It was a hell of a year. It was a great last 5 years. Some of you members of the team that have been here for 4 years. And for you seniors, congratulations on your impending graduation. I'm glad I got the chance to be here with you tonight and to spend some time back at Dunmore High School. Thank you.
The next part of our program will be a special presentation. At this time, will co-captains Kurt Bauman, Pat Sando, and Tom Gallagher please come up to the microphone. Come on up here.
In this room this evening, there are 40 people who made history happen. We didn't fit the most people in a phone booth or find a cure for AIDS. We're the first track team at Dunmore High School to win a District 2 championship. Yet this feat was only the icing on the cake for a season which was filled with outstanding performances and true team spirit. At the beginning of the season, we knew we had the capabilities to win a league title. Our team looked strong and we visualized our goals. As the season opened, Coach Gatto never let us get overconfident and kept us focused on the job at hand. We blasted our way through the first 4 competitions, totaling in excess of 100 points in each one. This brought us to our most difficult hurdle lately. We had not heard one of Coach Murphy's classic speeches throughout the season, but he had been preparing for this occasion. With his immortal words in mind, we ran like men possessed, amassing our best times, heights, and distances of the season. Breaking the Lakeland hurdle, just like Coach Gatto almost broke Billy Dolphin's spine at the finish line, we looked ahead. The last obstacle in search of the title were the prepper pots of Scranton Prep. But in true Dunmore style, we beat them senseless while gaining one of our highest point totals of the season. At this point, we had a league title, 8 of the top performances in the league, and many near record-breaking attempts. It seemed as if our team could beat the rest of the league and probably would have. The district championship lay ahead. We had the most top 6 seeds going into the competition, but somehow the paper thought Lakeland was going to win. Just shows how much they know. As I said, district was truly the icing on the cake, because like a true team, we showed more guts and determination than any 3 teams there that day. We saw the need for points and came through, in many occasions coming from low seeds and placing events, while having Dave Silvestrini and John Core take district championships and compete in states. As the meet went on, our points total grew until after we stood in the bleachers half an hour after the competition was over, the loudspeaker finally bellowed out the glorious word: we were district champs. After dousing Coach Gatto with Gatorade, we took a victory lap holding our district trophy high, and so history was made. Our uniforms might not always match when we wear them, and we might not be the sanest bunch of guys, but we are the best and true champs. Well, I haven't prepared anything like Pat did. I was pleased with that. But anyway, I'd like to reflect a little story that a few years ago, I was a youngin'. I was 7th grade, I think. And, I was over there in the corner lifting, The weight room was pretty hectic. About 100 kids running around. Radio was as high as it can go. Weights were smashing. I was with all my friends, and one day Coach Henderson comes over and taps me on the shoulder. Tells me to go over there with the big group, and that was Joe Gatto's group. At the time, I didn't know him, didn't have him in class or anything. I was pretty intimidated by the big guy. Well, after going through several nicknames over there, coming from Siberia, which was all the way in the corner of the weight room, they called me the Siberian Tiger. And ever since then, I've been lifting with him, and I still can't surpass him. But I'd like to thank him by presenting a present to him from the track team. Inside the box is not only a present, but there's an envelope in which there's a gift certificate for Charlie Brown's. But I'm not sure it's quite enough money to satisfy.
I just want to say a few words about Sandy and Murph here. Sandy just joined us last year for football, and then she stuck around, that we were all happy about, that she stuck around for track. And she helped us through all our injuries. What? And Murph here, he's always been at the field house helping us lift. He's been there helping us through all our problems, like he said before. And the track team wants to just present them with a gift from the track team.
All the seniors, please come on.
Wait, I'm supposed to say that. Toastmaster, say that, Kurt.
World Track Award.
All right, the senior boys of the track team would like to present this to Coach Gatto on behalf of the track team. You did a great job, Coach.
I'd like to call upon Mr. Hopkins to make a special presentation.
Just a special plaque presents to Joe Gatto, Dunmore Bucket, Class AA, 1991, Lackawanna Track Conference champions, District 2 champions, in recognition of a job well done with the Dunmore High School administration, faculty, coaches, and student body, presented June 1991 to Joe Gatto.
This next gentleman is a graduate of Old Forge High School. He was president of the senior class and valedictorian. He lettered in football, basketball, and baseball with a Bachelor's of Arts and a Master of Science in Biology. He graduated from Wilkes College as president of student government. He's been coaching track at Dunmore High School since 1970, including 7 years of junior high, capturing championships in 1974, 75, and 76. He's been varsity coach since 1979. A man who can be truly categorized as first an educator and then a coach, but devotes his ability equally in teaching and coaching. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Coach Gatto.
I hope I can be a speaker tonight. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. You know, I asked Sean if I should speak extemporaneously tonight. He thought I was cursing at him. Let me share a little story with you about Sean. He just turned 21 the other night, Tuesday night, and he was dying to go in and buy a six-pack and be carded. Because as you can see, doesn't look like a day over 18 to him. So he goes in the Convenient Mart, and he picks up a six-pack, goes to the clerk, and the clerk says to him, "That'll be $5, sir." Can you imagine what a downer it was for the boy? Dying to show his card the whole time, but he didn't make it. Again, I would like to thank all of you for attending this special occasion tonight. I'd like to make a special acknowledgement, first of all, to the members of the faculty that are here on a non-parental capacity. Mr. David Greco, Mr. Rick McDonald, our girls coach, and Mr. Kevin McDonald, our superintendent of buildings and grounds. A lot of people have made this occasion possible tonight, but I think I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the prime mover, that is the man who started the whole ball rolling, and that's Mr. James Fergione, our vice principal. At this time, I'd like to publicly acknowledge his efforts and thank him for all his support throughout the season. Let's give him a special round of applause. I guess my speech is sort of twofold. I have a lot of acknowledgments, and then I'll sort of run down the track program for as long as I've been here. Hopefully you'll bear with me. I know some of our previous speakers have stolen my thunder already, but I'll be a little redundant anyway. At this time, I'd like to recognize and thank all the other people who have helped make this evening's affair and the entire season a huge success. I'll start by thanking our general co-chairman and very, very close personal friends of mine, Mr. William Mecca and Mr. Paul Kelly, sitting to my right. These two men truly are not only top educators, but they're also probably our biggest sports enthusiasts in the school. I'd like to then thank our athletic director, Mr. William Hopkins, who has really been behind us for all these years, 150%. My good friend and assistant coach, Jim Murphy, he's very dedicated, I think as you probably all know by now, and he really motivates our throwers in the field events and really the entire team for that matter. We'll never forget his pre-meet speeches, I'm sure. He is really a very important part of our program, and we hope he stays with us for a long time to come. Dr. Matt Serrano wasn't able to be here tonight, but another very important part of our well-oiled machine, you might say. He was a former shot putter and now a dentist in Exeter, and he's been an unselfish young man himself. He has volunteered his services helping out the shot people and discus throwers for the last several years. And again, he expresses his regrets that he wasn't able to make it tonight. Mr. Vince Fedor, who not only coaches the girls' distance people, does a real good job with our own distance runners, and they've been really the heart of our team for the last 4 or 5 years. Mr. Frank Montero, our junior high coach, who's done a great job with the younger kids, and of course he channels them into our varsity program. Ms. Sandy Claus, our trainer, who has freed Coach Murphy and myself from more coaching duties. And you can see why we heard about earlier, taking one look at Sandy, you can see why we've had a lot of injuries this year. Speaking of Tom Gallagher, he had the most longevity as far as injuries go. I'd like to also thank the people who made this beautiful program. That is the program booklet you have in front of you, who made this possible. Dr. Donato Suma, Joe Vernetti, and Mike Gianvola, members of our track team. I'd like to thank John Core for these computer printouts you see on the window and on the wall behind me. I must mention our video man. He's been with me for many years. Really a successful hurdler in his own right, Tony Gargiola. Mr. Hopkins and myself were talking about the fact that he was the only hurdler in history to ever wear gloves when running a 300 hurdlers. That's sort of a little inside joke, I guess. Also, his colorful commentator, Yogi Canarella, wasn't able to be with us tonight. And Tony's going to show us some of those excerpts from some of the highlights of our videos a little bit later on in the evening. I'm sure some of you have seen them, but I think he's picked out some choice highlights, even my crushing block on Billy Dalton. Some of you may not know that Ingy, as he's affectionately called, has abandoned his culinary arts and is now heading WING Wing Sports, and I wish him a lot of success. Continuing with my accolades, I'd like to recognize and thank Sean, our Toastmaster, Jeff, our principal speaker. It makes me very proud to see athletes come back, and as I always said, our Dunmore students always rise to the occasion. No matter what the event might be, no matter what the affair, they always seem to come to the top, and I'm really proud of them. And I thank you for participating with us tonight. These guys, of course, were also outstanding track performers, and they sort of started our reign of wins back in the latter part of the 80s. Last but certainly not least, I would like to thank you, the parents, who gave us these fine athletes and gentlemen that we're honoring here tonight. I'm sure you're as proud of them as we are. Thank you sincerely from the bottom of my heart. The next part of my little talk is really about the track program, and I want to just reminisce a little bit, go down memory lane about some of the good things that have happened. It hasn't always been that rosy, as most coaches will tell you. First of all, we've come a long way, I feel, has been mentioned earlier in the last 5 years. As Sean mentioned in his introduction, I've been coaching track for 20 years, about half my life. This has to be, without a doubt, though, the most rewarding year. Not only were we able to repeat as Lackawanna track champions, which of course is our primary goal each year, we're also able to capture the first district championship in the school's history. This is truly a coach's dream, and I think I'm still in shock myself. I've been on cloud 9 since the district meet now. I hope to be that way for a long time. I think we paid our dues, and we're finally trying to show now that we are a track team that has to be reckoned with. It hasn't always been this glorious, though. I can recall taking over in 1979 for the late Pat Sid O'Donnell and suffering through some very dismal losing seasons, 3-8, 2-7, And at one time, I even considered stepping down because I felt that I really wasn't helping the program. Thanks to the encouragement of Mr. Fergione, who was athletic director at the time in the early 80s, and my own personal pride, which has never allowed me to quit anything I've ever started. This goes back to high school. I've taken my beatings a lot on the football field and on the basketball court, but my resolve was never to quit anything, and I try to instill that in our athletes that I coach. As it turned out, I stuck it out, and I'm really happy about it. As you know, I was an Old Forge product, but I am very proud to be a Buck. 1985 appeared to turn things around for us. That year we were legitimate contenders, but as Jeff said, we lost a very close beat to Prep and ended up losing the championship. 1986 was supposed to be our year. We had the unfortunate tragedy of Billy Ruddy's death and some severe injuries to his twin brother Bobby. We'll never forget that gloomy day in January, I'm sure. We finished that season nonetheless, when a lot of our kids wore armbands and rose to the occasion and ended up 5-5. Then we started to come into our own. 1987, 1988, and 1989. They were banner years. We had identical 9-1 seasons, with the only loss coming off the hands of our longtime nemesis, Lakeland. Last year, we finally got the monkey off our back, as I've said, by dethroning the Chiefs and stopping their 55-meet winning streak in their own backyard in Lakeland. That was a sweet victory one we'll never forget. The Gatorade felt good that day also. This year, we repeated by again beating the Chiefs, I'd say rather convincingly. When we were supposed to have all those frontline men, I think our depth and our pride was going to actually outlast any Lakeland Chiefs. And I really feel, with the help of God, that we can repeat next year, make it a three-peat. That's not too easy to do, but we're going to be the first ones to do that also. So you can quote me on that. So you can see that over the last 5 seasons, the Bucks have been 45-3. A tribute to the dedication and pride of you super guys that make up the Dunmore High School track teams. There have also been many individual accomplishments at the state level, as was previously mentioned. We've had state qualifiers in each of the last 10 years that I've been here in coaching varsity track, and they've been medal winners as far back as Joe Silva in the hurdles, Jim Marquez, Rich Boese, and Tim Ruddy, who won the school's first gold medal in the shot put last season at Shippensburg. I sincerely feel we have established ourselves as a team to be reckoned with. And there is no letter I in the word team, at least not in our team. We are a happy family, as Mr. Charles Mecca has so often said, both as an academic institution as well as in all of our athletic endeavors. In conclusion, I would like to thank you for your kind attention. Thank you all for coming here to share this evening with us. God bless you all, and again, thanks again. I'm going to take over Sean for a minute. This is something new that's not on the program. Thanks. Since Tony is with us tonight, he wants to show us a bit of the prowess he's showed us all here in running his videos, and I think he's excerpted some highlights for us of some of our most thrilling moments during the season. And Coach Murphy is going to be our color man on this and narrate and help Tony with it.
They said 0, 800.
1, 2. Coach Gatto said it again.
Watch Bill Gatto from the corner.
He's pushing people just to get to his man.
Okay, now for the awards portion of the program, for, of course, you people, the most important that have made this possible. I'd like to first thank the parents again, not only for paying for the dinners for this affair, but also making some of these prizes available to your sons to my right. They'll be receiving plaques, first of all, which were presented from the Dunmore School Board. The shirts, again, come from the money's been collected from the parents, as well as your dinners here tonight. I'd like to thank them again for that. I'm going to read off the names as I do. Mr. Hopkins and Coach Murphy will present both your shirts and your plaques. Now, as far as your jackets that you've already ordered, I am told by Mr. Battaglia, by Paul at Battaglia's, that they'll be in by the 15th, all ready to be given out. So about another week or so, we'll have our jackets, the long-awaited jackets. Okay, let's go down the list. There's 42 of you, so we'll announce you individually one by one. You come up and get your award. Kirk Bauman, one of our senior co-captains. Hold your applause until everybody has received their award. You're a lot easier. Go ahead. I don't know. Dean Dodge. Oh, you can applaud.
Whenever you're ready, Dean.
Joe Fabricatore. Tom Gallagher, another one of our senior co-captains. Mike Giambola. Enrique Lavalli. Pat McGuire. Tom Marquez. Alejandro Mesa. Scott Myers. John Pasco. Our other senior tri-captain, Pat Sandone. Jamie Tomasetti. Joe Brunetti. Joe Ballin. John Core. Billy Dolphin. Corey Fanjo. Jeff Higgins. Tony Longo. Boomer Marichak. Matt Quigley. Ryan Ross. Dave Silvestrini. Jim Smith. Dave Sotil. Dave Unisco.
Lobster.
Jude Alagrucci. Mike Einan. Tom Carr. Brian Davidson. Pat Phillips. Chip Price. Chris Sanaciro. I don't know if any of these other four are here. Mike Dermody, Joe Donnelly. I miss Jim Fergione. Nick Polito. Did I miss anyone? Are all taken care of? Mike's not here. Sandy Kloss. Thank you. We turn it back to our Toastmaster, Mr. Houlihan.
Now, to conclude our program, I call upon senior track member Joe Bergnetti to offer benediction.
Give the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. God our Father, we give you thanks for all the gifts that we have received in your kindness. Keep within us a grateful spirit that we might use your gifts wisely and share them willingly. Watch over us as we go from here this evening. Through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Before everybody goes, we'd just like to offer our thanks to Chicky DePietro for catering. Good night, all. Have a great day.
What's the back look like there, Kurt? Thank you, Kurt.
Sure.